This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. And remember, you're good-looking because you're looking for and finding the good. We have found good in abundance today because you have consciously and conscientiously tuned into the joy of living with your humble host, Barry Shore, Barryshore, Barry Shore at barryshore.com. And remember, you tuned in for one reason only. And it's a great reason. It's really the only reason. You care most in the entire world about you. Y-O-U-E-W-E. And that's great because when you are the best you make the world a better place, right? You build bridges of harmony. You create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world because you are rocking. You are the jet rocket fuel that enables the whole world to soar upwards when you're the best you. That's why you tuned in consciously, conscientiously to The Joy of Living with Barry Shore. And you should know that at this very moment, you are joined by 303,753 people around the world who have all tuned in for one simple reason, because they care most in the entire world about themselves. Because when you're the best you make the world a better place. And that's wonderful. And on this show, as you know, The Joy of Living, when you meet the kind of people, not just the kind of people, the specific people that we invite to share with you, you will, as a result of listening to them and following their advice, and we urge you to do so, you'll be healthier, wealthier, and wiser. And as Jack Canfield, the co-author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, said to me, hey, Barry, who doesn't want that? Everybody wants to be healthier, wealthier, and wiser. And that's why you tuned into The Joy of Living, hosted by K4HD.com on the mythical, magical, mysterious platform called Internet Radio. And if you ever miss a minute of the show, you do that. And you want to listen again, which you certainly want to do, and you want to share this with at least 5 people so that more than 1.5 million people will touch the show, then just go to www.barryshore.com, BARRYSHORE. Everything about our amazing guest today is going to be at barryshore.com. You don't have to write anything down. Just lean in and let it flow over you and be amazed at the kind of information from the real gut up into your mind and your heart, and you're going to be learning today, and you'll be able to be that rocket that goes soaring into the world. And people will say, where'd you get that from? You say, I listened to The Joy of Living with Barry Shore. Now, on this particular show, we have about 260,000 people every single week. Thank God. Thank you for being here for the past couple of years. And you're always bringing 50,000 new people because you're telling your friends, hey, you got to listen to The Joy of Living. So most of you know that this particular show is based on 3 fundamentals. And those fundamentals are, number 1, life. Your life has purpose. And when your life has purpose, you live a purpose-driven life. The corollary result of that is you can go mad. Now, in this case, MAD is a great acronym because it stands for make a difference. That's right. When you live a purpose-driven life, you can go make a difference. And the third fundamental we work with here is that you can uncover and unlock the secrets and the power of everyday words and terms. Yes, the secrets and the power of everyday words and terms. Simple example, WWW. Ask anybody, what does WWW stand for? And invariably, they'll tell you, well, it has something to do with the internet. And factually speaking, they're correct. But in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, WWW stands for, drum roll, fanfare, da-da-da-da, What a wonderful world. And what a is the word, WHATA. What a wonderful world. And of course, a tip of the hat and a big thank you to Louis Armstrong Satchmo for enabling that song to go viral and not just touch tens of millions or hundreds of millions, but billions of people around the planet. And whenever you hear even the opening bars of that amazing song, what a wonderful world, right away, what do? You begin to smile. You can't help it. It's infectious. That's the kind of infection we want these days. Now, SMILE is also one of the most powerful, positive, purposeful, pleasant acronyms that you'll ever internalize, utilize, and leverage in your life. Remember this, SMILE stands for seeing miracles in life every day, seeing miracles in life. Now, right away, invariably, when I speak about this, whether it's the 50 people or 5,000, and right now on the board, there's 17 comments saying, hey, Barry Shore, I've been up for hours already. I haven't seen any miracles. And I asked them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you see? Can you stand? Can you walk? Do you have water to drink? Do you have food to eat? Do you have a place to sleep? Do you have family? Do you have friends? Those are all miracles. Now, at this very moment, here's a simple proof. 1 million plus people did not get out of bed this morning. Around the world, 1 million plus people didn't get out of bed. Why? They died. You didn't. You're here. And if you're here, you can live life exuberantly. Now, we're in the midst of a pandemic. This is the summer of 2020. And for decades, people will be listening to this particular show and they'll look back a century from now and say, wow, summer of 2020, there was a pandemic around the world. There's 1 million plus people who didn't get out of bed this morning because they couldn't. They're infirm. They didn't die, but they're infirm. They couldn't get out of bed. You didn't. I trust 99%. Everybody watching and listening, you are able to get out of bed. Now, also, again, 250,000 people know the story, but I'm going to share for the people here for the first time. So your humble host, Barry Shore, September 17th, 2004, coming up on 16 years ago, I was standing up in the morning, hale and hearty, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. And that evening, I was in the hospital, paralyzed from my neck down. I became what's known as a quadriplegic in a matter of hours, and it was not from a car accident. It was not from a spinal injury. A rare disease took over my body and rendered me completely, totally paralyzed. All I could do was move my head left to right just a little bit. That's it. Imagine overnight, in a matter of hours, completely paralyzed. Now, to talk about the ability to get through that, I was in hospital for over 144 days. I was in a hospital bed in my own home for 2 years. I couldn't turn over by myself. I was in a wheelchair for 4 years. See my hands, as those of you watching Pod TV, still can't close them. I had braces on both my legs, from my hips to my ankles, and that was progress. But thank God today I am vertical and ambulatory, albeit with the help of a 6.5-foot walking wand made for me by a Zen master, but I still can't walk up a stair by myself or a curb. And I have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you hear my voice, positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. Why? Because I've learned how to see miracles in life every day. Still takes me 10 minutes to get out of bed in the morning, but I get out of bed. Now, I have to share with you a story. My 8-year-old niece came over to me a few weeks ago, and she says to me, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile S-M-I-E-L? And I thought about it. I said, smile. I asked her, said, why not? I said, how come? And she says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. Out of the mouth of babes. How wonderful is that? Because when you can do that, when you can learn to see miracles in life every day or miracles in everyday life, now you can begin to create the kind of world we all want to live in. And CREATE is a wonderful acronym that stands for causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. And we'll be talking a lot about excelling and building yourself and rethinking, causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. We all have a brain. Your brain has over 100 billion brain cells and over 1,000 trillion synapses connecting all those brain cells. And they're there for more than just deciding what kind of latte you want this morning. To create the kind of world you all want to live in. We can do that if we think in a way that helps us. Think is a great acronym that stands for to harness insightful neural connections. Now, I do have to interrupt myself and tell you in advance before our guest arrives that your humble host, Barry Shore, does use 4-letter words. And I use them a lot. I even use the 4-letter FU word. And I do it because it's fun and the shock value. But the 4-letter words that we use are live, love, give, hope, holy, free, grow. And the 4-letter FU word is fun. F-U, capital N, capital N. But people say, but Mr. Shore, fun is only spelled with 3 letters. People are writing there right now. It's only 3 letters. I said, not in our world. Our world, the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, we spell it with 4 letters. F-U, everybody. Capital N, capital N. So after the show, when you see your family, your friends, and you point your finger and have a big smile on your face, remember what that stands for. You say, F you, everybody. Remember to add right away, capital N, capital N. I said, where'd you get that? I said, listen to the joy of living, Barry Shore, barryshore.com. So the important thing is to understand what it means to have fun in life, because when you have fun, you can begin to approach joy. Now, let's learn the 2 most important words in the English language. Then we're going to bring on our guest, and he is going to rock your world because he is all about rocking. So these 2 words, if you learn to say these 2 words 3 times a day, consciously and conscientiously from now, the rest of your life, you will make a difference in your life and the life of all people around you. You'll go mad, make a difference. And the 2 words are, drum roll, fanfare, da-da, da-da. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because thanks stands for to harmonize and network kindness. To harmonize and network kindness. The Dalai Lama has been quoted as saying, and I've read in his writings, be kind whenever possible. And it's always possible. Thank God we're going to be able to go back to our coffee shop soon. You walk in the coffee shop, you order your fancy latte for $5.50. Somebody brings it to you, you say, thank you. You walk in the coffee shop and you order your fancy latte for $5.50, and a few minutes go by, nobody brings it to you. You go to the counter and say, oh, I'm sorry, we forgot. And they bring it to you. A few more minutes go by, they bring it to you, say, thank you. You're walking out of the coffee shop and it's raining out. Somebody holds the door open for you. You say, thank you. You're walking out of the coffee shop, it's raining out. Somebody slams the door on you. You say, thank you. You're stuck in traffic. You're late for an appointment. Somebody cuts you off. You say, thank you. You get up in the middle of the night and you stub your toe and it hurts. You say, thank you. To harmonize and network kindness. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind always. Keep inspiring noble deeds. That's what kind stands for. And there ain't nobody around that is that more kind and more capable of helping us and growing and building us than this amazing rocking guy named Mike C-Roc. Mike, are you there? Can you say a huge hello to 303,000 people around the world?
What's going on, Barry? I tell you what, I got to try to pump my energy up here to keep up with you.
Well, let's go pump.
Let's go.
Yeah! So you got Mike C-Roc, C-Roc. I am so honored and humbled to have him here because Mike focuses on and specializes in building people. This man literally is a molder, a shaper. He's the Michelangelo, you know, that famous story about Michelangelo and the David. He was walking by a quarry and there was some stone there, marble that was sort of discarded. And he looked at it and he contemplated and he said, I'll take that one. And he goes back and they asked him, how did you do that? He said, well, I just chipped away at the stuff that belonged. Well, that's what Mike does. He shapes human beings with his very being, with his energy, with his insight. So I'm going to do something uncharacteristic and I'm going to let you speak. And we're going to just launch right in and talk about something about, let's say, your life, your personal life, and what it is that causes you to not just understand and believe, but know that every incident, whether it be called a setback or a disturbance or a difficulty or becoming paralyzed overnight, I mean, just who cares about stuff like that? It's all beneficial and you can use it to move forward. Talk to us, wonderful Mike.
First of all, thank you for having me on the show. I'd like
Thank
to use
you.
a few words, but you know, I always follow that up with very much. Thank you very much, because I'm always trying to overdo things. Because if I do overdo things, and there's some day that I can't perform, I have a little in the extra in the tank. So it's just a mindset thing that I use. But Barry, I've been around a lot of broken people growing up from when I was a very small child. I came from a broken home. I don't remember my parents ever together. And, I dealt a lot with maybe some of your audience's same issues that they dealt with child support issues, conflict with custody, parents fighting. And, being around that as a kid, you don't know if it's your fault. Whose fault is it? You don't know what's going on. Because
or maybe you think it's normal.
That's it. It thinks it's ordinary. It's
arguing, and that's normal.
And that's the things that went through my head as a young kid. Now, and then as a kid too, you're sometimes thinking like, am I picking sides if I decide to live somewhere else to another house? Things that go through your head as a kid, and you're just trying to conjure up some kind of normalcy. Now, I lived with my dad for 3 years, and I don't tell this story to tear either of my parents down because I don't know the whole story of what was going on. But when I lived with my dad for 3 years, it wasn't the best environment. It wasn't conducive to happiness and joy. And I knew that as an 8 to 11-year-old kid. I saw this. And by the way, my dad, while I lived in there, had his own masonry business. I looked up to him for being a hard worker. He had money. And he always had this wad of $100 bills in his pocket with a rubber band around it.
Wait a minute. It sounds like Italians in New Jersey.
Yeah. It was actually Pennsylvania, but close enough.
Only have to put that in context. We have a worldwide audience, but I think a lot of the audience, even though they come from India and China and Africa, they've heard of what is that show? The Sopranos or something like that. So people know about New Jersey and $100 bills and all kinds of stuff happening. Okay,
yeah,
more.
Yeah, no, I didn't know if we were in a made family or what, but he always had this. And I always looked up to him for that because I knew what it got us: trips, dinners, what have you. Now, I decided at some point after enough conflict that I needed to get out of that environment. I told my mom, and she said, "I'll file court papers, but you need to stick to your guns because they're going to try to talk you out of it." And I heard her say that, and it's really stuck with me. So when my dad got served the court papers, I came home from school one day, and he said, "Get in your room." And I went and sat in my room and waited for probably 5 minutes, but it felt like 5 hours. And I sat there and waited, and my stomach was in knots because I knew what was in the envelope that he was holding. And he came in and he said, "Hey, it says here you want to move back with your mom. Is this true?" And I shook my head, yes. And I said, "Yeah, I have to have a change." And he said, "Well, your mother doesn't have it well with her new husband. They don't have it like we have it here. You won't go on trips. You won't go out to dinner all the time." And I said, "Yeah, that's okay. I want to make the move." And I remember my mom saying, "Stick to your guns. Stick to your guns." And so I said that, and then he said, "Okay." So he takes the wad of $100 bills out that I always looked up to him for. He takes the $100 bill off and peels it off and crumples it up and throws it at me and says, "Here, you're going to need this when you're living on the streets with your mother then." And, as an 11-year-old kid thinking about that with a hero, I relate the $100 bill being thrown at me as a boxing trainer throwing in a towel on their boxer, their fighter. And, for anybody's hero that gives up on them, it's not a good feeling. But Barry, I'm stubborn as they come. Stubborn too.
Yeah.
And what I did is I thought two things. One, I'm not going to let you win. I'm going to show you. And as an 11-year-old kid conflicting with his father, sometimes.
This is what I want to interrupt because I want to interrupt. This is so important for people listening because most of the people listening, by the way, are under 35. But still in all, we're talking about an 11-year-old kid. This is important. You're looking now, so what's are watching Pod TV, but a lot of people are also listening. You're not looking at this dynamic, young, handsome man. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about Mike. But he's 11 years old. So he's really an 11-year-old now relating to us, talking to his father, who by definition is, let's say, probably 30. And he's a Mason, so he's sort of a big guy, pretty strong, and throwing a $100 bill at him. Now, if you're not confused at 11 years old and where you're going to go and your mother and your father and that, I don't know how you did it, but I love that you're stubborn because this is what's going to give you the resilience to become C-Roc.
Yeah,
really be a benefit to the world. So let's hear more.
So the first thing I thought, no, you're not going to win. Second thing I thought to myself was I can't be the only one in this situation because remember, I thought this is normal, ordinary. And when you think that, you're not alone. So I'm thinking, okay, well, there's other people that have gone through this. I'm going to show them that you can go through this and still succeed and be great at something.
Wait a minute, you were thinking that at 11?
I remember this because I didn't know how I was going to do it, though. What I did was I thought to myself, okay, I'm just going to be the best I can be so that I can be an example for others that watch the journey that I take. So I realized that, and I always told, like, see, my mom gave me, I was very lucky. Now, again, I'm not trying to play my dad against my mom here, so don't take this the wrong way. But I just remember my mom always telling me how smart I was, always encouraging me. You're going to be doing great things when you grow up. And so that played in my mind probably. And so I'm always looking for my purpose. You talked about purpose earlier. I'm always looking for my purpose. Like, what can I do next? So at the end of the day, I thought I'm going to help people, and I'm going to show people that you can be successful. So it's school, sports, work, everything I did, I tried to be the best. I tried to do that. Thank you very much. The extra. And then going from there, moving to my mom's house, Barry, I was always around still broken people. My grandmother killed herself, man, for when I ended up being 18 years old. I walked in the door and found out that she committed suicide. A lot of alcoholism, drug addicts. And it's
wait a minute. This is not the movies. Gary, I want everybody to understand. I'm putting a pause, Mike, for a moment. What Mike is sharing with us is his real history. It's important to understand that when a man speaks about his life, he's not doing it to elicit from us pity. On the contrary, what he's sharing with us is, oh, hello, this is real stuff. And as people can see behind him, the wall says, what are you made of? You see, you think you're just flesh and blood. You're a soul. You see, the Lord made you. You're a created being. You're not just some sort of protoplasm hanging around. You are a soul experiencing life fully. That's what your self is. So I love this. By the way, MOM stands for Miracle of Mindfulness. So unbeknownst to you, your mom was channeling you. She was the example of the miracle of mindfulness. And when she was encouraging you, Mike, she was planting seeds of purpose in you that were taking root in this fertile ground, and that you could become the being that you are, married to a wonderful woman, have two beautiful children. It's harmony in the home, and you are an par exemple, as we say in French, for millions of people around the planet. I'm saying that maybe not true at the moment, but it's happening, because right now we're talking hundreds of thousands, which will be multiplied by when everybody downloads and shares this, because this is gut-telling stuff. So let's continue. Mom is telling you, hey, Mike, you're a winner.
Yeah, so that stuck with me. So I think that people building thing was, I was always looking around at these people and thinking, this can't be the way life has to be. This can't be. So I was always in fix-it mode. I think by nature at heart, I'm a people builder, a people fixer. And so I've always been trying to counsel people. Prior to my grandmother committing suicide, I was always trying to help her, guide her. And she always told me she always felt better after talking to me. And then I went to college and I wasn't there for her. And I come home from college to visit my family. And that's when I find out that's what happened. And I know it's not my fault. And I know that I couldn't do anything. I don't feel any regret there, but it's just the fact that I knew I helped her when I had the opportunity. And so, about 3 years ago, Barry, I figured out something, purpose. I figured out, you know what? I've been doing this thing and not realizing it, not really being aware of what I was doing. And I need to share this story with people so that I can inspire millions of people, like you said, and show them where you can come from and then how great you can be at something to help people. I don't want to be great just for myself. I don't want to be known by millions of people for myself. I want to do it so that I can impact and inspire millions of people. And I'm going to do that. That's
what I want to correct you on something. You are doing it. We speak in the present tense, Mr. C-Roc. You are doing it every single day by your life, by your very being. When you get up in the morning and you say, thank you, you're doing it. You're making it. You're a MAD. Did you know that? You're MAD, Mike. MAD stands for make a difference.
That's the aim. That's the target. And so in doing that, I have a mortgage company that I run, a division over in Mid-Atlantic in Miami. And I have 40 employees with my best friends. We get to lead 40 employees, and we're in the mortgage business, and that's our vehicle, Barry. But at the end of the day, I woke up every morning and I feel myself building people. I have my employees and I'm trying to make them great and drive them to greatness and show them that they have greatness inside and put them on track to go after it. And so then we expand that out beyond that to the real estate agents that send us business and our customers. And so I said, you know what? Let's get this thing going and let's create a company called People Building Inc. and start focusing on building people, helping companies build their people. The podcast, What Are You Made Of? What are you made of is a phrase that I use all the time when I'm going through tough times, when I'm going through great times and I want to go harder. What are you made of, Mikey? My mom used to call me Mikey, by the way. My friends call me C-Roc. But so that's where Mike.
Wait. I have only one question, and you don't have to answer. What does your wife call you?
Depends on what mood she's in.
She's a woman, and she's your wife. Okay,
Michael, when she's mad at me.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll leave that alone.
But she doesn't call you Rocco or anything like that.
No, my son's nickname is Rocco. So yeah. But here's the thing. So I believe in self-talk, Barry. I believe in getting inside of your head and really controlling what goes on inside of your head, right? Being able to start something in your head, being able to change when you want to change, and being able to stop when you need to stop or want to stop. Controlling things. Because you talked about your spirit. I think the spirit is really controlled by your mind. And you need to be able to control your mind so that your spirit can unleash powerful things and do miracles like you experienced yourself. I believe in miracles. I also believe that, our Creator allows miracles to happen, but we are the start of the miracles by putting energy out into the world of what we want to happen and what we believe in that should happen. And it can't happen without that. And, I firmly believe that, and I've seen it personally. And so the What Are You Made Of podcast I started was to share this story with people. And I saw how it impacted, and I want to get other people to share their stories with me so that I can help impact people. And the number one rule, I'll leave you this part here. I'll end on this. The number one rule that we have is to turn all setbacks, letdown, negativity into rocket fuel, not fuel. Fuel can't get you to orbit. Rocket fuel for your future. And the reason that we want to go to orbit is because of the fact that in orbit, gravity's gone. Gravity's bad things that pull you back, the suppressing forces, right? When you get into orbit from rocket fuel, from your setbacks, talk about joy, Barry. Talk about joy.
You want to know what joy stands for?
Love to hear it.
J-O-Y, generating ongoing youth.
Love it.
Generating ongoing youth. That's what joy is. And you're right. But this is so important what Mike is sharing us about the idea of using rocket fuel to break through the gravitational forces that pull people down when we want to go up. And by the way, up stands for unlimited potential. That's what you teach, right? Unlimited potential. Hello, you're not here in wherever it is, New Jersey or this place that have unlimited potential, but you only do that with rocket fuel, right? And then the rocket fuel that we use is love. And you do too, because you know what love stands for? Living on vibrant energy. Living on the vibrational plane. When you're living on vibrant energy, there are no boundaries.
Right.
There's no gravitational force. It's gone. And when people wake up to it, like Mike is sharing with us, it becomes, he has a mom and a pop. His mom was the miracle of mindfulness, and his pop was the power of purpose. Once he discovered the miracle of mindfulness and the power of purpose, Mike became rocket fuel, not just for himself, but for all the people that he touches, the people that he calls employees, the people that come for the mortgages, the people that brokers that bring them in. And every one of those families that gets a mortgage has a family or other people that come visit the house. So he's touching exponential numbers of people with his goodness. He has a goodness finger. Remember that famous, there's two pictures everybody knows around the world. One is E.T., right, with the finger. The one I happen to like, because I'm a little bit older than other people, is the big picture in the Sistine Chapel of the Creator God with his finger almost touching the human, right? Bzzz, that's who Mike is. Now, We're going to come back right after this brief break, and you're going to hear more of this amazing C-Roc who's going to rock our world and give us rocket fuel so we can break through any barrier, because there's only a barrier, not a barrier. We'll be right back after this brief message. Don't go away. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. And remember, you're good-looking because you're always looking for and finding the good, and you have found good in abundance. Join the Keep Smiling movement, worldwide movement to show and share the Keep Smiling cards in 27 languages, many different iterations. And not only can you go mad, go make a difference, you can go make money. Yes, take a selfie, go send cards. And now every week, somebody's going to win a $25 electronic gift card. Hey, that's pretty cool. And guess what? You can stop the pandemic. You can stop the virus of bad, corrosive thinking by Keep Smiling, because smile is internal, not just external. It comes from the heart. It comes from the mind. It comes from the lips. And just go and spread joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Go make money. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking because you're always looking for and finding the good. Stress kills. Joy heals. What color is your stress? You can find out. Go to barryshore.com and take the free stress test. And you'll find out what color your stress is, from sunny yellow through green, blue, gray, or black. Stress will kill. Joy will heal. You can reduce it, mitigate it, eliminate it. Go to barryshore.com. Find out the color of your stress. Do it now. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking because you're always looking for and finding the good. We have good in abundance, and it's loose in a two-legged being, and his name is Mike C-Roc, C-Roco. And we are talking about rocket fuel, the ability to go up, unlimited potential. And we're talking through and with an amazing being who loves building people. And he did it ever since he's a young being. At the age of 11, thrown into a difficult situation, emerging from that and making a decision. See, decision is the key to life. Isn't it right, Mike? We say life is a 3-day process. Decision, discipline, and determination. How do you like that? Life is a 3D process. Decision, discipline, and determination. And he has them all. Now he's going to share with us something. I always want to give I'm going to give you a gift. I think you might love this because you're the one who said it to us as we went to break. He loves the idea of self-talk, right?
Yeah. And by the way, before I do that though, you're missing something with the 3Ds. You got to put an A in there because too many people leave out the action.
I was going to ask you, this is so, see, great minds. You see, just thinking about something, the power of thought is wonderful. That's what I call pot, by the way. I'm a pothead. Power of thought. And head stands for helping everyone achieve destiny. But it doesn't happen unless and until you take action. See, just thinking good things, hey, better than not. But without taking action, when you combine your thoughts, your words, and your deeds, now you are rocket fuel. You're living in the C-Roc world. So he mentioned before the break about self-talk. The most important words you'll ever hear in the course of a day are not from your husband or your wife, not from your children, and certainly not from your employees or people you call bosses, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's what you say to you. Am I correct in that, Mike?
Yeah, and I picked this up when I was younger too, because I would be playing sports like Pee Wee soccer or baseball, and I would talk to myself in my head and fire myself up at a young age. And I saw that it worked. So then I started to build upon it. And what are you made of is something that I always say to myself. And the other one is, I'm built for this. I got this. Encouraging. And you know what? I think it does stem from, now that we're talking, I remember my mom saying these things: stick to your guns. You got this. You're going to be great. And then so I think these things play over that in a recording of my subconscious mind. And as well as it could be bad things that could do. So you have to really be aware of what's going on in your head as far as what kind of talk is going on. We call it self-talk. But I think you need to really encourage and feed the good, positive talk, acknowledge and be aware of the negative talk so that you can damper it. And I believe also that the negative and the negative talk, the bad talk, is stronger than the positive talk. So you have to really muscle up and really take the fight for the negative talk.
You can do it, even if it's stronger. It's stronger by default. In other words, the default position is, don't you know good? You've always done. The positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant aspect is self-talk. And here's an acronym. I give it to you willingly. You ready? So we said self before stands for, well, there's two selves. There's the lower self, which was the Mike when he was, what's going on? I don't know. And then there's the higher self with mom. So the lower self was seeking excitement, losing focus. You find this a lot with employees sometimes. And, okay, we're going to go and party. Wait a minute, what about you? Didn't you tell me how to go? Seeking excitement, losing focus. The higher self is recognizing that you are a soul experiencing life fully. And as a soul, you are given to rocket fuel and unlimited potential. But here's where it gets really amazing. Talk stands for teaching, always, love, and kindness. Self-talk. When you speak to your kids, you have two wonderful kids. You don't ever want to use negative speech. You know why? Because it goes right in there, right? Just like your mom told you, you're great. It goes right in there. And you got to nurture that side. So self-talk, you want them speaking self. You're a soul experiencing life, teaching always love and kindness. Because everybody's going through a battle you know nothing about. Be kind. So let's talk about something that I really enjoy. I asked you before, we wanted to talk about something, talk about people building. I want to learn from you, what does it mean to be omni-focused rather than individual focused?
So if you think about going about your day, worried about what's coming your way, how you're going to handle things, what's in it for you, or if you're also thinking about when you're in a contest or a game and you're playing in a game and you're looking at what your move is going to be and what the outcome is going to be for you, and you're going to lose in that case a lot of times, you're going to win sometimes. But wouldn't it be better to be omni-focused? And omni-focused meaning seeing the whole field from the point of an eagle flying over a field. An eagle flying over a field can see its prey, can see pretty much any prey that it wants. And an eagle wins all the time because of its vantage point, because it sees the whole playing field. It sees both sides. If you were playing a game and you knew the plays that the other side was going to run or the moves that they were going to make in chess, for example, you could win every time. Now that could get boring, but if you want advancement and you want to win and you want to be happy and joyous, be omni-focused. Be aware of other people's feelings. Be aware that, like you talked about, other people are going through battles and fighting battles that you have no idea. So that's why kindness is so important. When you're omni-focused, you're kind to everyone because you don't know what they're going through. You don't judge the way they're acting towards you because you don't know what they just went through right before you saw them. So omni-focus is more of seeing the whole field, seeing everybody's point of view and being aware of that before you act and say things. Now, by the way, I tell you this is something I teach and I try to practice myself, but I'm not perfect. Everything that I always talk about.
Wait a minute, you're not perfect. Yeah, we love that, by the way. We're not looking for perfect. We're looking for human.
Well, the reason I'm saying that is because a lot of the messages and the teachings that I do all have to do with me talking to myself a lot of times. And I'll do videos on my phone to post on social media for other people to take advantage of. But really, Barry, what it comes down to is me giving myself therapy and myself coaching sessions and myself self-talk. And then I share it with people because I know it works for me. and they get to take advantage of it as well.
This vision that you gave us, this ability to see like the eagle. So let's just take a look at a couple of things about an eagle. First of all, an eagle flies very high. There is one bird that flies a little higher, but let's call it the highest flying bird that there is. Its wingspan is actually much larger than most people think, because the wingspan of an eagle is over 6.5, oftentimes as much as 8 feet. Now that's bigger than even the biggest, tallest basketball player, and they're big B, they're big dudes. So that's an eagle. And when it's flying, it doesn't just have eagle's wings, and it doesn't just fly high. It has 2 other aspects to it that are quite amazing. 3, actually. One is eagle vision. It can do 2 things at once, as we said. It has omnivision and has specific vision. It has the ability to see the playing field, both teams, by the way, playing and what they're doing, who's going to do what to whom and when, for how much and where. And at the same time, it can pick out one item and it can focus on that. That's really good. And then it has talons, and those talons can go and swoop down, and I think excess of 80 miles per hour, and pick something up as small as a field mouse without crushing it. Swoop down, pick it up, and bring it someplace. Now, if it wanted to do that in a generous way instead of eating it, but the point is, with an eagle, it has all those abilities. And here's where it gets really amazing, Mike. We're greater than any eagle. As good as an eagle is, we're humans. And humans are far more resourceful, powerful, positive, pleasant than any eagle in the world. I'll give you just one little example of something. I want to talk to you about this. I think you'll like it. I really enjoy what you said about posting things on social media. Not because, hey, look at Mike, look what he's doing. What Mike is doing is saying, I am sharing with you stuff that enables Mike to be Mike. And you want to listen in? I think you might like it. If you do, great. If you don't, that's okay. But what he's doing is the following. If someone came to you, we're talking to hundreds of thousands of people around the world, right? Somebody came to you, a good friend, and they needed advice. Would you say, well, just man up and try to be like that, and, with a strong voice, or if you're a woman, with a womanly voice, but harsh, you wouldn't do that. How would you treat your best friend? You'd listen, hopefully. You'd give them advice that was beneficial. You'd be pleasant. You'd be talking to them with love and kindness, right? And yet when it comes to our own selves, people think, wait a minute. When you recognize you're a soul, experiencing life fully, teaching always love and kindness, then guess what? You are now adding rocket fuel, and you are unlimited. You are up, unlimited potential. There's nothing in the world, absolutely nothing, that can hold you back. It's impossible by definition. You know why? Because God made you. God made you. I'm going to ask you a big question, a big favor, wonderful Mike, who I like a lot. You hear me? This is wonderful. Okay, 90 seconds, kid. What's your most fervent desire?
My most fervent desire is very simple. I want to show and inspire people to find the greatness that they have inside of them. Like you're talking about, the unlimited, untapped potential that they have. And not only just show them that it's there, but then guide them and put them on track to go after it and stay on track. Then helping other people do the same thing. So just like you scale a business, I don't see why there's any reason that you can't scale people building and make the planet a different place, a better place. And so, especially in the United States right now, I really think that this is a big movement that we could all get together and create. Not about C-Roc, not about what are you made of and people building and all that, but about our country and our world. Scale, the idea of scaling, building better people.
Excellent, Ben. Would you call that hope?
That's another word for it. Hope. And give me, what does hope stand for?
Hope stands for helping others progress every day.
Love it. I love it.
Are you ready for a big hug, sir?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Love it. I felt it.
And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Harmonize and network kindness. We are here at the Joy of Living. You're listening to your humble host, Barry Shaw. You tuned in consciously and conscientiously today because you care most in the whole world about you. YOU, which is great, by the way, because you care the most about you. You become the best you possible, just like Mike has been sharing with us. We want you to be the best you because when you're the best you build bridges, you create more harmony. Remember, WWW stands for What a Wonderful World. When you hear that song, you start smiling because SMILE stands for Seeing Miracles in Life Every Day, or as my niece would say, seeing miracles in everyday life. And when you do that, you begin to create the kind of world we all want to live in. Listen to what Mike is talking about. Creating people building world together, team together, everyone achieves more. Create stands for causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. That's what Mike excels at. People building. Use four-letter words. Yeah. When people say, hey, do you use four-letter words? Yeah, I do. Live, love, give, hope, holy, free, grow. And use the four-letter FU word. Tell your friends, hey, FU, Mike. Anybody say FU recently and you smiled at them? I'm saying to you, FU, capital N, capital N. You got to add that. I said, where'd you get that? I listened to Barry Shaw and the Joy of Living. And remember, use the two most powerful words in the English language consciously and conscientiously 3 times a day. And they are, thank you, thank you, thank you, to harmonize and network kindness. To harmonize and network kindness. When you do that, you will make the world a better place. You go mad. Remember, we live in this world with 3 fundamentals. Number 1, life. Your life has purpose. And the corollary of that is you can go mad, go make a difference. And the third, unlock the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. To harmonize and network kindness. Think, thank. To harness insightful neural connections. And as Mike will say, and I'm going to ask him to say it right now. Ready? Say these 2 words, Mike. Dream big.
Dream big.
Dream stands for doing remarkable, exceptional, amazing manifestations. And big stands for believe in giving, because that's what he's all about, right? Believe in giving. He's been doing that. If you had to sum up this show today, the joy of living, in one word, it would be giving. And that's what you're about, right, Mike? Isn't that what you do?
Right, 100%. And you know what the other thing is? I have another FU word is fuel, and I'd love to hear what you think fuel stands for.
Well, since Barry is kind of a little frozen there for us, I will give it a chance. No, you tell me. I'm not really sure. It could stand for a lot of things. You tell me what
fuel,
it stands for.
Fuel.
Yeah.
Let me. I haven't done this one yet, so let's go with frequently underestimating love. That was off the cuff.
Awesome. I like it. It was awesome. Well, unfortunately, we have a little dilemma. Barry left us. He must have had an issue. They might have weather over there, but I want to thank you for joining Barry here on The Joy of Living. Wait, I think we got him back. Hold on. Let me see.
I think I found something.
Hi, Barry.
Yeah, we just have another minute. Mike, fuel stands for flowing, undulating, energetic life.
Love it.
So our blessing, you made it up on the spot. Our blessing to everybody is go forth. Live exuberantly. Spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference.